Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Put Me Over Podcast, episode 83. I am your host, Andrew Gomez, a.k.a. The Mez, joined today by my lovely, wonderful, beautiful co-host. To my right, your left. He's the 10th wonder of the world, the puncher of walls, Dicklish himself, Richard Garcia.
How's it going, everyone?
And rounding out the crew, to my far right, you know him, you love him. He is the man of 1,000 jobs, 1,004 jobs.
There it is.
The Pinoy powerhouse himself, Byron Pagdalao.
I'm on the far right, but I'm from the far east. Botch that, but whatever.
I love the effort, though.
How many jobs are you gonna have next week? Just out of curiosity.
Who knows? But it's a troubling life. Maybe Disney Plus will hire me.
Ooh,
hopefully.
now that's a dream job.
That'd be
dude.
nice,
Right?
It's good to have you back, man. How was everything, dude?
Good, busy working with my kids, working on some cool stuff I can't talk about yet, and then we have a couple of big shows lining up, recording a new record, all that stuff. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Now I can.
Okay,
Yeah.
good,
much better.
Good. So yeah,
New record. I'm excited to hear that.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
I
But,
still need the old record.
dude, I keep forgetting. You need to remind me.
All right, next time.
I have like 3 that I just set aside for people. So.
Okay, I'm excited. You guys were gonna play a show. What happened? The fuck? I was gonna.
Oh,
go.
it was some weird drama thing, but we got replaced. Not replaced. We got it postponed to 11:30 at the House of Machines, which is a crazy ass venue. So
I agree.
I've never
it's
heard
a
of it.
cool ass venue.
it's like a biker bar type thing.
What?
But it should be
Yes.
dope. So November 30th. See you guys there, or see you at another time.
And that's gonna be 2 Saturdays from now, correct?
I know. Wow, that's crazy.
Damn, we're already in December. That's nuts.
That's fucking. Where did the year go?
Seriously. Thank you guys for joining us today. Before we get in the show, you know I got to give it up to our sponsors. Give it up to LapelYeah.com. I'm actually wearing my Lapel Yeah shirts I got for free, which if you follow them on Instagram, you will be able to find little things like that they drop here and there. Go over to the website, LapelYeah.com. Go to the Instagram. Turn on them notifications. If you're ever in the market for some wrestling merchandise, look no further. Go to LapelYeah.com. Type in our promo code, Put Me Over, and in turn, that website will put you over, and you'll get 20% off your entire order. Also, make sure to go check out our friends at Grudge Match Brand on Instagram and their website, grudgematchbrand.com. A lot of cool shit dropping from them. I got a sneak peek of what's coming, and you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure those notifications are turned on. And if you're in the market for some Put Me Over merchandise for whatever reason, go to putmeover.com and use our promo code FLACCID for 15% off your A3K shirt, your Put Me Over podcast shirt, your Put Me Over phone case, whatever you need. We got it there for you. We still got stickers. How about this? If you are listening to, never mind, I'm not gonna do that. Nah,
Maybe next time.
maybe next time.
If you're lucky.
I'm gonna set up something. I didn't want to mail anything out.
Yeah, mailing's a bitch.
But yeah, a lot to get into this week, guys. We have returning of CM Punk to talk about. We have NXT AEW killed it. SmackDown, however, did not. So before we get into all that, let's get into the news. Let's get into some Dick's dirty news. Take it away, Dick.
Well, right off the bat, you did mention the big news of this week, and that involves CM Punk, and he is returning to WWE.
Fox.
Well, the show on Fox actually, which is
A WWE show.
Yes.
But he's not signed to WWE.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that a lot of people they don't seem to understand is that he is signed with Fox and not WWE. Now the question remains, of course, is that what's going to happen now? What's going to happen with CM Punk as far as is this his foot back into the company? Because we've seen this happen to other stars as well with Ultimate Warrior and Goldberg, who were not on the best of terms with WWE, but they signed a 2K contract and they end up getting back into the good graces of the company.
I think it's a good move for all parties. He's going to be making a shitload of money.
Yep.
And all he has to do is talk about wrestling. I mean,
it's a win-win in his book. I mean, and he's getting paid just to talk about wrestling and not be in the ring, not have to do any damage to his body. The guy hasn't wrestled in at least 5 years.
yeah, I think it's a good move for all parties involved. A little bit of work, but there have been people like The Fiend and Seth Rollins that are already calling him out, asking for matches at WrestleMania. Do you think that will happen?
No.
I mean, you do think he will step in the WWE ring once again?
I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no way. Of course, there's no way he's not going to step back. For one, there's too much money. And as you can tell, from what history has shown, if you're a professional wrestler, it's in you. You're always gonna want to wrestle. Shawn Michaels said he would never come back, and he came back for Crown Jewel.
They brought that Saudi bag.
He was out for 8 years, and it took one show where he got paid millions of dollars to come back.
Right, bald Shawn Michaels. So that's how badly he came back. He came back as bald Shawn
Dude,
Michaels.
that's the worst Shawn Michaels.
And he
Easily.
didn't have to come back. But to be fair, though, he didn't embarrass himself.
No,
in that match with Triple H and Undertaker and Kane, he looked the best out of all four of them, and he was gone for 8 years.
Well, yeah, freaking Triple H ripped off his pec.
Yeah.
Ripped his tit, and Shawn Michaels had to carry the rest of that match against the Undertaker and Kane, who were both old dudes. Like, it was 4 old dudes wrestling.
Right,
And
essentially.
He was probably the oldest and the best.
Right.
But
That's weird. Yeah.
But going back to Punk, so he's going to be on WWE Backstage. He's not going to be there every week. He's going to be a special contributor. So whatever that means, he could be. He's not going to be there every week, from what I've heard, from what I've understood. So yeah, it definitely sounds like it's definitely a sweet gig for him, and he's just going to be talking about he's going to give his 2 cents on basically the WWE product.
And it's all shoot, right? It's not.
I hope it's a shoot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Because they do like a weird kayfabe shoot thing.
Yeah,
I like that. Though.
it's like a work shoot kind of thing.
Yeah, they're going out of their way to get all the marks on this show. Like they not on it, but like into the show. This is a show for marks. Clearly with Ryan Satin from Pro Wrestling Sheet being a contributor as well. They really want to get that internet mark seal of approval on it.
They should have done this before, for the longest time, this whole backstage show, especially when there was no AEW or any other competition. Now that there's so much fucking wrestling, it's just one other thing to watch.
Dude, we were talking about it. It's just too much.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
Will you be watching this every week?
No.
Not every week, but if I see a clip that goes viral, or if there's some sort of content that I'm gonna be like, oh, I need to see that, I'll watch.
Well, yeah, that's different. I mean, I agree with you on that. But as far as watching the show from beginning to end,
nah,
that's too long. And an extra hour of wrestling, that's
what?
I've been watching every week. It's a
what
fun
day?
show.
What day is it on again?
It's on Tuesdays at 8:00.
Boom.
It
8
should be
o'clock
coming on
Pacific time.
It should be coming on after Raw or SmackDown though. It shouldn't be on a random Tuesday.
Right. Not like there's no wrestling programming other than is Impact on Tuesday?
Impact is Tuesday, yeah.
And,
So there's no other
is
wrestling Impact.
NWA Power.
So yeah, there's no,
So basically there's no
so no other wrestling.
on Tuesday. Just kidding. But yeah. Well, they should just do it during a WWE day versus, try to take every fucking day of the week.
Yeah.
Well, if they did it 2 months ago, it would have been perfect because
Right.
SmackDown was on Tuesdays.
Yeah. I mean, now we get it on Friday, and it's not been good the last 2 weeks. What else we got, Dick? Before we get into that,
Okay. This whole ACH thing.
let's talk about
we
that.
got to talk about this as well. We mentioned a couple weeks ago where Jordan Miles ACH, what's his real name? I'm trying to think of his name right now. Anyways, long story short, he had made public about his problems with WWE, specifically with the T-shirt that was made for him, where it was all in black and then it looked like it depicted blackface.
It was awful.
It was awful. No matter how you look at it, it was a bad design, bad idea, and it just had bad racist connotations to it. Now he made it official that he's quit WWE. He made it public on Twitter that he's no longer working for the company.
Well, I don't think they've quit him yet. I think he just is fuck
he gave
this,
him his
but
2 cents. He pretty much said I quit. But you're right though.
he still held the contract.
WWE hasn't officially released him yet as of today.
I think they're gonna want to drop him ASAP
They're gonna have to at this point
because he's gonna go out and put him on blast until he finally gets that release.
Right.
Because he's trying to burn down this fucking bridge as fast as he can.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
Like I told you guys over our chat or whatever, Vince put over Kofi as a first black champion. So now he has unlimited power to be racist for at least another 2 months, guys. So
I hate that whenever there's a black wrestler, they have to come out and shuck and jive and rap and smile and
it's a stereotype.
it's such a fine line
for
now.
all
too,
of them,
right?
Look at Apollo Crews. What's his gimmick?
Smiley black man.
That he smiles.
Yeah.
Then you have Smiling Jordan, and then who else? You name it.
Lashley in the beginning when he came back was doing that for a little bit.
Was he?
He was smiling.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he was smiling like crazy.
To be fair, though, Apollo Crews is not doing any favors for himself because of his lack of charisma, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. What character are you going to give him that he can probably portray?
Put him in a stable, do something.
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
do something
He
with
could
him.
be. He could be a work.
muscle.
He's a workhorse.
He's
he could
way
be
too
muscle.
talented to be running after that 24/7 title.
Right. He should be icy. I see that as a ceiling, but he should be around that
A good
area.
mid-card guy, for
Right,
sure.
Right. Shelton Benjamin
Ooh,
and Jace. Right.
Shelton Benjamin and Jace. I'm fully on board with that.
Yeah. Well, there's an example of like an African American gentleman who didn't really have a racial gimmick, I don't think, yet.
Which one?
We had
Shelton?
the mama one.
Oh,
The mama one. Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
He did have
Scratch
the mama
that.
one.
Scratch that.
But then you look back at like Crime Time, and we've said all these guys that kind of aren't treated like a normal wrestler. They have to have this race. They have to have something racial in their gimmick.
Some African American stereotype.
Yeah.
that-
Not
I mean-
Kamala. I'm just kidding. The
Oh,
old
dude, come on.
Oh, Kamala's not African American. It's an African stereotype,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, point taken.
Yeah.
Even look at Akeem the African Dream.
Oh yeah.
That's the 80s.
It was a reverse
The worst of the
reverse
80s right
racist.
there.
Dude, go back and look at all that shit from the 80s. It was so bad. It's
should-
so racist, a lot of that shit. Having Junkyard Dog eating chicken and shit.
Oh god.
So
No,
bad.
Slick eating chicken.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Slick.
yeah,
That's
Slick.
who it was.
Yeah.
It was Slick.
So bad.
Oh man. Tell us who your favorite racist character of all time is. Jesus.
And I just want to read this real quick. He did post on Twitter. It's just posted a couple days ago in a video. As of today, I'd like to officially announce that I quit fucking WWE. I am no longer employed. I refuse to work for racists. I fucking quit. Fuck them. I hate that fucking company.
Shit.
Everything they fucking stand for. All they ever did was hold our fucking people back. I do this shit for the culture. I don't need anyone's fucking permission to do what I want to do. Screw Jordan Miles. Don't ever call me by that slave name. Call me ACH. And don't forget the super bitch. I quit. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So this was
That's how you go out, boy.
so he definitely posted his displeasure of the company publicly for sure via video. Now as far as what's gonna happen to him, there's been a lot of like
AW.
I
back and
love
forth.
that fucking.
Yeah, I mean, how can you get serious after that? I mean, he definitely, it's man,
Well, enjoy catering.
yeah, exactly.
That's where you're going to be, unless they're not going to. I mean,
Didn't AEW
They're
say
petty
they're not
as
taking
fuck.
them? They said they're not taking him, right? I saw that on a tweet or something that AEW's staying away from him.
he might be burning like all the
I
bridges.
think he's burned. The thing with right now with AC Albert Hardy, that's his real name, is that we don't
Oh,
know.
he's a Hardy boy?
That's his real name,
Hey.
Albert Hardy Jr.
There you
I
go.
just remember his name right now. The thing about that though is that there's something wrong with him. Like there's some issues that he's going
Like
through right
mental
now,
issues?
possibly.
Right.
And
Because the shirt was bad, but it wasn't go fuck yourself
Yeah.
kind of bad.
like I think there's something going on right now in his life that maybe right now is probably not the best time for him or for any company to reach out to him and to have him wrestle. I think maybe right now is probably good for him just to kind of like step back and kind of reevaluate what's going on in his life. And then when he's ready to come back, because this is going to take some time for him to let this kind of brawl away, and then we'll go from there. You got people out there that are attacking him. This guy's not mentally stable. Something's wrong with him. Others are giving him support. It's just that at the end of the day, we don't know really what's going on with him.
Well,
I've seen ACH wrestle at PWG, and he has all my support. Whatever he wants to
Absolutely.
do. He's way too good to be going through like anything like this.
sad. At least we know TNA Impact might hire him
Oh,
soon.
Impact is like, please sign with us.
So yeah,
No,
good
they'll
luck
sign.
to
They'll
you.
sign anyone.
They'll sign anyone. I got signed at Impact recently as
Well-
an analyst on their backstage show.
That's
Oh
on
God,
the day
I wasn't
of the
working
week.
with Josh Matthews.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Oh, that guy's a dick.
Also, I just want to put this out there. Fuck Corey Graves. We're still at war, bro. We're at war with. We're in the Put Me Over podcast war
Fuck you,
against.
Corey
No,
Graves.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I saw him on Total Divas. Have you guys been watching?
No,
Random?
you watch.
No.
You watch that shit.
Well, the new season, I saw it's on Hulu, and I was like, because it has Rhonda, so she obviously puts asses in seats. So I started watching because of Rhonda, and I'm on 3 episodes in. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
I really don't care, dude.
Corey Graves and Carmella storyline folds out right before our eyes and
Aw.
that, so it's pretty good.
I was watching The Bump. Oh, that's another show to add to WWE programming. It's not a show about cocaine. It's a YouTube show that they do. It's kind of like a podcast.
Oh, if it was in the '80s, it'd be a different story.
yeah, it'd
Right,
be
right.
the rails.
Or go off the rails, rather.
Yeah, going off the rails.
The rails.
And it's basically like a podcast. They got like random jabrones on there, but this last week they had Carmella and Corey Graves on it, and they did like a dating game type of segment. And one of the questions was, "What's the weirdest place you guys have fucked?"
What?
Not fucked, but like made. Yeah. They said made whoopee.
Made
but
whoopee.
Right.
And I didn't know.
Talk about archaic terms, dude.
I guess they really like boning in the shower. Is what I got out of that.
What?
Yeah, but is it weird though?
It's not weird.
No.
I mean, it is kind of weird for WWE to be asking their employees where they fuck.
You know, they're really pushing the button about sex. Now that you mentioned it,
dude,
they're asking questions about where they're boning, and then with the whole Lashley and Lana angle, they have to mention sex 1,000 times.
She said sex like 1,000 times. It was making me uncomfortable. We'll get into that because I have a lot to say about that whole fucking
right. And I'm glad you mentioned that because it seems like they're just like they're throwing it out there. Like we get it, WWE. You're trying to be edgy. We get it.
It's like too much. And like Renee Young on backstage was like, "Well, you guys asked for attitude and we give it to you," because Paige and Booker T and Mick Foley, they all buried that storyline. And then she was trying to defend it, like, "Well, you guys wanted us to be more attitude era." I was like, yeah, but no. I don't think I've ever been like, they need to go back to the attitude era. I just want good shit. That's all I want.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you go back to the attitude era and you give a shit, then it's because it's shit. It's not because it's the attitude era.
Go forward. Why do we have to go to go to the past?
Like, I'm one to think that if it's good, it's good, and I'll call it. If it's good, if it's bad, it's bad. Like, I'll criticize as much as I praise.
I mean, that's one thing that I've heard from our listeners that listen to the show. We don't just shit on WWE to shit on WWE. Like, when shit's good, like, I'm gonna be like, damn, that was awesome. But when it's bad, I'm definitely gonna like tell you that what I think about shit. I got into a war last night.
Oh yes,
had a little bit of the bubbly, and I was on Instagram just going at it with these WWE marks that think that AEW is garbage and that this new Universal title is beautiful and
it's not beautiful.
They were marking out for this belt. I was like, dude, it's so. We'll get into that too. Oh my god, a lot to get into. What else we got, Dick?
I honestly think you should get into that right now. I would love to hear what you have to say about it.
Well, they unveiled the new Universal title for Bray Wyatt, and you know the rumors were going around that they're going to give him like a personalized title. It didn't make sense that it was going to be the red strap on. So this feels like the perfect time. It's moving from Raw to SmackDown. Perfect time to do a refresh of the belt. Maybe don't have it look like all the other belts.
Right.
If you're going to be Universal Champion, differentiate your Universal Champion from your World Champion.
Right.
And they literally just took the Universal title and put a blue strap on it, and now it's the Universal title is on SmackDown, but it's a blue belt. Especially for someone like The Fiend, him walking around with a blue belt looks like
it doesn't
garbage.
make sense for him. It doesn't make sense for him.
It looks like really bad.
They should have just made it black.
I just think it's lazy. Well, if it's black, it's going to look like the world title.
Right, but the world title is, I don't know what they're doing, how they're going to change all the title structure now, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, the way they've been going the past couple of years is they're doing it like the class ring, like the class ring belt. Like they'll have their logo encrusted with the diamonds, and then and they have the side plates custom made for whoever is the champion.
Right, which I like. I like that part.
Which was fine back in 2014 when they unleashed the WWE title at the time. But then they got lazy and they started doing it to the women's titles. Well, first the Raw and SmackDown women's titles, and then to the Universal titles. So now you look at 4 of their top belts look exactly the same.
I feel like they're going for like a UFC kind of thing,
right?
Where all their belts look exactly the same. But look at the belt. Look at all that empty space they have there for like a big gold plate.
That royal blue is not a good color for a belt either. It doesn't. I mean, I'm thinking aesthetically, like when you see your champion walking down, it's not going to match with everybody's outfit. It just looks weird.
Look with Bray Wyatt, it doesn't go like at all.
I think
the red would have fit perfectly.
Right.
Maybe change the strap once he's not the champion anymore.
Right.
Well, I think that they could the way the SmackDown women's belt is. That's okay because it's not like it's a white strap with the blue background on it. That's perfectly fine. And I think that would have worked if they didn't have that design. But the fact that they use that for the women's belt, that's why they went with the the blue leather. It doesn't look all that well. I mean, like this is what happens when you have a lazy design and you make all the belts the same. It's like an assembly line.
Like, okay, if you're holding up your WWE champion and your Universal champion, and you ask someone that doesn't watch wrestling which belt is whose, they're gonna be like, oh, aren't they the same?
Right.
That's what I see.
From an outsider's perspective,
and
yeah.
the casuals, yeah.
At least because you have to get up real close to see that it says Universal and World Champ.
Let me
Like,
see that belt real quick.
at least make it look different. Like, I'm not asking for like a total redesign or. Well, actually, I am asking.
You
for
are
redesign.
asking for that, which, not to be fair though, a lot of us are doing that, are asking the same thing as well.
I think they just need to go mid-card title and have one title for both shows.
We've been
have
saying
a floating
that.
champ.
We've been saying that for years, dude.
Because now it's just watered down at this point. These are just props now. They don't mean anything. The person holding it doesn't feel that special anymore. They're just props, literally.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't want to get too far ahead, but on SmackDown there was a segment where Bray had his Funhouse segment where he was playing with his toys, and he opens up the chest, and out comes the Universal title, which to me was a perfect representation of what they think what the Universal title is about. It's just a toy. It's just a prop.
Exactly. It's something to sell. It would have been dope if like they went like a did you guys ever see that show Jeepers Creepers?
The show or the movie?
The movie.
Yeah, that shit was sick.
No, I don't remember. But
If
go on.
like they made the belt out of like they made it look like human flesh.
That would
like,
be dope.
That would have been sick as
That
hell.
would have been
one
perfect for
time.
Bray.
Well,
Yeah, for Bray.
This tells us one thing, or a couple things. One, that they just like the blue belt, or two, that Bray might not be champion for that long.
Oh yeah,
So
could be it too.
Because if they were gonna make it personalized, they should have made it badass as fuck, right? If he's gonna have a really extended run.
Or like the book in Evil Dead, how it's like made out of like human
Yes.
human skin.
Right,
like that would have been dope as fuck.
Might be too graphic though, but then again, they have like Lanas.
Dude, he comes out with his head as a lamp.
That's
like,
yes.
Yeah,
and then you have Lana's tits out all the time. So yeah,
I mean, look at the hemp belt that they made for Daniel Bryan.
dope as fuck.
It was a dope belt, but that only lasted for a couple months, and then
Yeah,
they went
maybe
back.
have the Universal Champion have like a personalized belt, like all the Universal Champions.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
That'd be cool. More than the
that,
side
that would be
belts.
that would be cool. I mean, but I don't think they're gonna do that though.
That would be a reason why you want to fight for that belt, so you can have a personalized belt.
Yeah,
That'd be
be
cool.
really cool. Unless the only thing is that they do like have a quick exchange of titles. It'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, you'd have to keep it on that.
And that's the
person for a
biggest
little
and
bit.
that's the biggest problem if you do a custom made belt for each champion.
They got to just do something. I feel like it's just too lazy.
Make it just put more effort into the actual championship belt. Make it seem like an authentic world championship belt.
NWA does a great job of that.
And AEW's belts have been phenomenal. Pretty much everyone's belts I really have no complaints about except for WWE. Even NXT, even the NXT championship is a decent looking belt.
And the best
Oh.
belt in the game is the North American title. To be quite honest, that shit is gorgeous to me.
It's pretty sick. I
It's,
saw
it's,
it.
it's a
in
nice
person.
looking belt.
I saw it in person. It was pretty dope. Although the U.S. title for NWA is pretty sick too.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's a throwback to their old '80s
Is it a
belt.
smaller belt?
No, it's big, but it has the whole United States on it,
Ooh, that's kinda
like
sick.
the shape of our country. Like it's pretty sick. What else we got, Dick?
Well-
I feel like there's a lot.
I think we covered the important things. Let's go and get into Full Gear. Well, what did you guys think of
Oh,
Full
shit.
Gear?
Fully loaded.
Or as JR would call it, fully loaded. He this past AEW Dynamite, he kept calling Full Gear fully loaded on multiple occasions.
And let me just, for the record, for the people watching on YouTube, let me just hold up my belt real quick because I only missed one for that whole show. So thank you. I'm the champion, guys.
Dang.
No applause. I'll edit. I'll edit that shit in.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna edit in my own applause then.
Like the Funhouse.
Yeah. It feels good to be king.
Kang.
I get it. I get why Baron Corbin does it.
Baron Corbin.
It feels good to be king.
There-
And as your king, I'm gonna put you through 20 minutes of bullshit promos to start the show.
Oh man.
I loved Full Gear. I thought it was a great show.
It was a great show that was marred by the main event. It seems like that main event match is very polarizing.
Absolutely.
I didn't have a problem with it. They're not doing. That's how deep this feud goes. They had to blow it off this way. I mean, I don't like watching garbage wrestling usually. Like CZW, I won't watch that.
Right.
Death matches don't do anything for me. I feel bad for the guys that are doing it for $12. But this match felt like a blood feud that needed to be blown off this way. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. There was some spots where I was like, fuck, like the barbed wire net was brutal. Like, why?
It was brutal looking, but it didn't. It ended up being not as bad as everyone thought. So it was pretty safe.
How do you get out of it without like? It's like that guy that jumped into a cactus. Like, how do you get out of the cactus now? Now you're in there. You can't like push yourself up off of anything because you're just gonna fuck your hand up.
But as far as like the match itself, I mean, there were some spots where like when they took turns doing the hitting each other with the barbed wire. That was actual barbed wire, and that shit looked.
You
Looked
don't
like
think it's gimmick?
When they were hitting each other with the barbed wire.
Yeah, you think that barbed wire?
No,
is
that was real barbed wire.
That is fucking retarded.
The nets though, on the other hand, they were gimmicks.
Oh yeah.
Were they?
Yes.
When he was sweeping his back with the barbed wire, fuck.
That was real. That was real barbed wire.
The barbed wire wasn't stuck in his back while he was going over it.
Right.
And then the glass. I think the glass was gimmicked. But
yeah,
when he was trying to like get out of the submission and crawling through the glass, it was just a cool visual.
Although the ref did cut himself when he was trying to make the pin, I just think with glass, like it's a little
bad for the refs, dude.
Yeah, it was a little excessive with
like,
the glass.
Fuck, man.
I mean, me personally, I've had no problem with the match. I thought the match was fine. I thought, as far as like hardcore matches go, it's definitely not the best hardcore match I've ever seen in my life. But
what would be the best one?
That's a tough call.
I'm gonna go with Triple H Cactus Jack Royal Rumble 2000.
shit.
Brutal.
I think that's probably one of the best. I mean, like as far as like mainstream goes,
right.
I would go with that.
No, Abdullah the Butcher don't count. That stuff don't count. Right?
I never really was a big fan of Abdullah the Butcher to begin with, but this was fine. I mean, for what it was.
This actually wasn't the main event, though. It was it was
Technically, you're right.
Technically, not the main event. The main event was the title match, but it did go on last.
Yes,
As a whole,
which is what I called. Thank you.
The pay-per-view as a whole wasn't that. I mean, you know me. I'm pretty much the biggest AEW hater. Me, Stack Guy Greg, and that guy that Andrew had a feud with.
Who?
The guy,
Who?
The guy that blocked me on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, he's
unblocked me, coward.
Oh.
He's gone now.
He doesn't like it.
But I will say that that match, it was pretty good. Adam Page is growing a little bit, and then
I expected bigger things out of that triple threat tag match. Didn't light the world on fire like I thought it was going to.
yeah, you thought with all the talent in there, you thought that would have been match of the night.
I thought they were gonna be flying all over the place.
But I think at the same time, though, I think a lot of people stepped up. I mean, you could pick an argument in those matches on there. It could be match of the night. Pac and Page, they put on a show.
To me, that might have been match of the night. I think it was the most interesting.
I love Jericho and Cody.
Even the proud and powerful against the Young Bucks. I thought that was a great tag match.
Like Pride and Powerful. That name still makes me
Yeah, I still think like LAX is a better name, but they can't use LAX at the moment because it's a TNA name, and it's more for like the stable.
Yeah,
but
Proud and Powerful just sounds like a Puerto Rican gay bodybuilder.
Yeah, a gay Puerto Rican team.
Yeah,
or like a shitty novel that you're supposed to read in the summer going into junior year or something.
It's supposed to like enrich your
summer school requirement.
Yeah, I'm like shit.
Did you guys read Proud and Powerful yet? Fuck, I haven't read it yet either. Nah. But yeah, overall, the Adam Page Pac match was really good too.
He's so damn good, man. Fuck, he's good.
We ordered it, we watched it, and it was really good.
I didn't know he was that much smaller than Adam Page. Adam Page is a big mofo, dude.
He's a small dude.
Dude, that's crazy. It makes it more impressive in how far he's gone in his career.
But yes, the only one that we both missed we both fucked up on the triple threat main event, but we guessed pretty much everything else correctly.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
And did you like the Cody match? I mean, not the Cody.
I loved it.
My bad. The Kenny Omega match. You guys loved it. How'd you feel since it's such a polarizing match?
I don't have the problem that everyone else had with it. I thought it was really entertaining. It kept me invested the whole time.
Damn, it was 38 minutes too.
It was a long match.
The mousetraps, like I was hoping for a bigger payoff than that. I don't think they even went on it.
It wasn't necessary. They didn't need to put that in there.
It was like a lot of work for nothing.
Right. I also think like I told you guys in the text that like I love both those guys. They're both pretty good wrestlers, but I think they're missing an opportunity by having Kenny. He needs to demonstrate one of those matches that got Kenny Kenny. You know what I mean?
Well, now he's done with Moxley.
Right.
He's get to go to do something else, and
Right,
I think now he's going to be able to show off.
Exactly, and it's his time. I think he's the best wrestler in the company, probably arguably the best wrestler in the world, depending who you ask. But I think they need to showcase that as a personality and as like the worker that he is. To me, it kind of diminishes that to put him in a match like this right away.
Where do you think he goes now?
I have no idea.
Pac?
Oh,
You can always go back to Pac.
Well, Pac lost the match, right? So he lost that feud. So
on Dynamite, I mean, I'm getting a little ahead of myself again, but they did have the rubber
let's
match.
just talk. Fuck it.
go for it.
They did have the rubber match, and Pac did get his win back on Page, so he did win the series 2-1 for right now, as of today. Well, yeah, you can always go Kenny Omega and Pac. I think they have the opportunity to burn it down now that Pac is signed with AEW and he's no longer the Dragon Gate champion. So I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah. Dave Meltzer loved this match too. He gave it a 4.5.
Yet it's funny though, like overall though, he was not a big fan of that match. Him or Brian Alvarez, and a lot of people were not fans of that match itself, but they applauded like the performance of the guys and what they did. That's why it's such a polarizing match. Like you have people that don't like the match because they don't like hardcore wrestling, but they thought it was a good match. It's just it is what it is though. Like I said though, like I thought they did fine. I had no problem with it. If they ended the feud, I'm totally cool with it.
That better end the feud.
I hope so too. You have to end the feud after this.
We have a word from our correspondent, Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious, what's going on out there? Jim Cornette hated the match. Thank you,
You
Captain
don't say.
Obvious. He called it a self-indulgent, phony, silly, stupid, embarrassing, big-budget, garbage fucking wrestling. He called it an abortion and called it ECW with a budget.
I'm kind of curious to see what he does like in life, not just wrestling wise, but like
What brings him joy?
right, like when he goes to the supermarket, what's like, oh, I want this.
Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, like it's delicious.
Like Cornette, he's living in the past. He's living in the 70s. He has that 70s mindset where like
That's why
wrestling
NWA is perfect for him.
And yes, and I agree. And I think him
Right.
being there is
Cracker mindset.
perfect. Is the perfect. He fits in perfect with NWA. But as far as like outside goes, like he definitely has that outdated mentality. Real quickly though, the Riho against what's her name? Emi Sakura. I thought that was a great women's match. Riho, she could draw the fans in. She starts it off slow. You think that the fans are lost with her, but then halfway through she turns it on another gear, and she delivers. And that was by far the best women's match in AEW.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want anything bad to ever happen to Riho. I've said it a bunch of times. I think she's amazing. Sakura is awesome. They played up the whole student teacher angle really good.
Yes.
You could tell it was a big moment for Sakura because she was crying before the match started.
Oh yes,
she was like taking it
absolutely.
all in. And that's something that like me as a viewer I appreciate because it shows me that you care. You're not just going out there and doing this match again that you probably did a bunch of times on a loop. You don't get that. I mean, I'm gonna shit on WWE, but I don't feel like that at all about any of those people. I feel like they're there for the paycheck, and they're there to entertain, obviously, but I don't feel the passion is there from a lot of the guys.
Right. There's only, to go off that, there's only been a couple of WWE matches where you could kind of see in recent memory where you see that it's a big deal to the indivial performers.
Look at Eddie and Benoit.
Oh yeah,
The finish of that match.
Kofi to an extent.
Kofi, dude. I mean,
we were marking out pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big moment.
Oh, and Sasha Bailey, one of those matches. Remember when they were all like tearful in the middle of the match?
Oh yeah.
It was back in 2015. That was probably one of the best NXT women's matches.
To me, that's
ever.
one of my favorite matches of all time. Still, that's
from that takeover.
Yeah, probably top 15, maybe top 10. We'll see. But yeah,
you don't get that passion from WWE.
Not
it's something that they
basis.
should. It's something that they should definitely go towards.
I agree.
They just hire these bad actors, I guess, or I don't know what.
It's various factors. I mean, you have 30 writers who are trying to write for really one person who doesn't really have a. I don't think he understands modern wrestling. He understands the modern era.
I don't think he understands human emotion.
He doesn't really. He's really stuck in his bubble, and what he may think what everyone would want may have worked 30 years ago, but definitely not the case. So he's definitely living in an outdated time, and you could tell with how the product is, and it's affected it.
Yeah. Let's get into the product because we're.
But real quickly though, I'm glad you mentioned Passion because the AEW Championship match between Chris Jericho and Cody, I thought it was a phenomenal match.
Dude, Cody's busted head, man. That was he
aside
did it to himself.
He did it to himself though, but you know what though, it
Fuck.
worked though because it brought out. I think it brought out more the color that
literal color.
literal color. Like he was bleeding his ass off.
They almost stopped the match.
They did.
They almost
For real?
stopped the match. For
Yeah.
real.
Did he?
The
Was he
doctor had to.
concussed for?
I don't think he was concussed, but the bleeding was so bad.
That was a
but you
really
could-
bad bump.
It was though.
Yeah.
It absolutely was.
He didn't blade. That was hard way, brother.
That was hard way.
Well, look at that thing he landed on. That shit's like serrated. There's like
I think
little bumps
if
and
that
stuff.
ramp wasn't
Yeah.
there, he would have been okay, obviously. But
yeah.
I think he's probably lucky that the ramp was there because if he would have taken that header out of the ring straight to the floor, he was like half rotation. Like he would have
Right.
fucking maybe broke his neck.
I am a fan of that ramp setup though. That's a cool
I like the
setup.
design.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
big time to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you look at like New Japan, old
Right.
WCW,
Old
like
WCW for sure.
it makes it feel like a big time. Than like little rinky stairs at the corner.
yeah, and you know, going through that match, Cody did not quit. MJF had to throw the towel in, you know, and
yeah,
we were
fuck, I
led to believe that MJF did it because he was worried about Cody and that Jericho was definitely putting a beating onto Cody. So MJF decided to throw the towel in, which caused Jericho to win the match via forfeit. And after the match, this is where the magic happens. And everyone saw it happening, and it just how AEW had planned it was perfect. MJF goes for the hug, and then after that kicks Cody in the nuts.
Right in the dick.
Turns on Cody, and the place exploded with boos.
That was so
They
good.
love to hate MJF.
Same here. I'm a big MJF fan. We were watching. I was like, oh shit, MJF's coming out with him. All right, this is the night.
Especially with the stipulation that Cody set for himself. So like,
Yeah, because we're talking like it made more sense for him to lose the match and not get another opportunity. Like, okay, so he wins the match and gets the belt. Like, there's so many more ramifications and story you can go down, especially with your best friend turning on you.
right. And Jericho needs the strap for a while. I think it just makes sense. For
Absolutely.
The company.
Yeah,
They were able to book themselves out of a corner, and it worked. It worked perfectly.
and the crowd went home. I mean, they were booing, but they were booing for the right reason. They weren't
Yes.
booing because no one was chanting WWE at the end of that show,
Right.
like the way that the Hell in a Cell match ended.
Although that'd be very.
And it
ironic.
made logical sense.
Imagine that happening at
That'd
AEW.
be kind
The
of
whole crowd
insane.
chanting WWE. Like,
The only way they do that is if they book something hella stupid.
I don't think I've ever heard a WWE
no,
chant.
I've never heard a WWE chant.
It
ever.
doesn't even flow off your tongue well.
WWE. Dub.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Because they're like, what's a dub?
Dub C dub.
dub.
Like that works.
ECW.
It all works.
Yeah.
WWE does not work. WWE. Wubba lubba WWE.
WWF. Nope.
Nope.
WWF don't
It
even
just doesn't work.
No.
NXT.
NXT. Oh yeah.
NXT works.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. NWA that works.
Right.
MLW that works. Impact does not work.
Impact.
Impact.
Oh,
Maybe
that would work.
maybe TNA back in the day. TNA.
That works.
Yeah.
What else works, guys? Let us know.
Yes, definitely let us know. So we got the good out of the way. Should we go into the bad?
Let's get into the bad. Let's talk about what is not going good. Raw SmackDown did literally nothing for me this week. There was little bits and pieces here.
It's the European season, so it's usually pretty shitty.
Yeah, this was filmed last Friday, so the people that went to SmackDown got Raw and SmackDown in the same night.
That was a chore to watch. I feel bad for those Londoners
That's
that
a
had to
long
sit through.
day too.
That was a long day.
That's WrestleMania, basically.
I mean,
6 hours of
yes.
wrestling.
And it's a long day for those that go to the Raw tapings itself. That's 3+ hours right there. Let alone you got to be there for SmackDown as well. And when they're both not good quality,
Yeah, I was gonna say to sit through 6 hours of dog shit. I'm running through the card right now, and the women's match
That's
was a
sick.
great way to kick off
Yes.
the show.
Kabuki Warriors.
real quickly though, let me ask both of you since we're talking about long shows. New Japan, they're gonna have Wrestle Kingdom coming up, and they're gonna split it in 2 nights.
Dumb fucks.
Okay. What would you rather do? Do 2, 3, 4 hour shows or sit through 1 6, 7 hour show?
7-hour show. Easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
To me, it's the whole music festival thing. Like, when you go to a music festival for a couple days, it's so exhausting. I think if you just muscle it out in one day, because you can get drunk enough where you'll have fun the whole day.
Yeah, to have to go home, get ready, hungover, and do it again.
And then
I see what you're talking about.
Parking and just going through the long 4 hours is still a long time. So I figure you don't have to be there the whole time for the 8 hours. I guess you can kind of budget, but you would want to. But I'm saying I think it's easier for one day.
Yeah, that's true.
I get what you're saying from the music perspective. I agree.
New Japan can get away with it though because they run these G1 tournaments where they're like multi-day events.
That's a good point.
I can't see WrestleMania being a 2-day event.
Never.
But I think New Japan can get away with it, and I would like it all in one day. Because now if I want to watch this show, I have to dedicate 2 days to it.
I would too. If it's like 1 4-hour show, but if you're gonna do like a 7-8 hour show, that's just like his shows are getting longer and longer and longer.
That card's not even closely remote, like finished booking, right?
For which one?
Wrestle Kingdom.
It's getting there little by little.
So I'm curious what
the card's looking really good,
but it's looking really good though.
Naito versus
Jay White.
Oh
shit!
So
the winner of that gets to fight Ibushi, right?
Basically night 1 is going to have the IC championship, so which is going to be Jay White versus Naito, and then Okada versus Ibushi.
Yeah.
The winners of those matches are going to face in night 2, and they're going to crown the first double champion.
Whoa!
Title versus title.
That's pretty high.
Fucking mage.
Okay,
So
that's
the
hype.
way New Japan has it set up makes absolute perfect sense.
Okay, you're in this scenario.
It makes absolute
if they're
perfect
using
sense.
it to book like almost tournament style kind of thing, or like something's at stake for 2 nights. I think that's kind of cool. That's dope. Though.
But I get why they're doing. I mean, I also get why they're doing that because they don't want to get into that idea of having a 7-8 hour show because a lot of these shows are starting to get longer and longer, and fans do burn out after a while. I mean, look at WrestleManias. Toward the end, the fans are burning out.
Oh my God, they're gonna crown a double champ. So somebody's gonna be IWGP Junior and the heavyweight champ for one night.
IC and the IC and the Intercontinental champion.
Right.
I'm sorry, the Intercontinental and the world champion.
Right.
You know what I'm hyped for is the Jericho and Tanahashi match. 2 fucking
Yes.
Oh, Jericho's going for one night, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jericho in AEW reminds me of Tanahashi in New Japan whenever he fights someone smaller than him.
Right.
Because Jericho's fucking he's built like a brick shithouse, dude. He's
like a tree trunk.
He's put him next to like Darby Allin. He looks like Tanahashi versus Ibushi. You know what I mean? Like he's a smaller guy. So to see both these guys, they both are gonna have like their little man buns going on.
That's gonna be
true.
I'm excited for that match.
But yeah, the reason why I wanted to bring that because, as I mentioned, like these shows are getting longer and longer, and it would probably make sense on one hand to split them up between 2 4-hour shows. That way, the fans themselves don't burn out.
Yes,
like that makes sense. But like you guys said though, like you might come across where like you might burn everything out in one show, and then the second show you may not be able to replicate the energy you had at the first show or even the attendance from the first show. So yeah, there are pros and cons to it. That's why I wanted to get your guys' opinions as far as having an idea of splitting, having 2 4-hour shows or one long 7-8 hour show.
I mean,
now that
night 2 is gonna be the shit.
Yeah, well, now that I see their intention of having the undisputed champ or whatever they're gonna call it, I think that's gonna be pretty
To have a
sick.
story go not just 2 nights, but have a story
Yes.
that ties both nights together is very nice.
That's good.
And Liger's fucking retirement match.
Yes, that's another huge thing right there.
Finally, God
Dude, he's
damn
like
it.
80 years old, dude.
Jeez.
I love this.
Still going.
This new Liger though, like
Right.
the unmasked fucking final form.
Kishin Liger?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's fucking sick.
I love final form Liger. That term is sick.
Yeah, it's he does occasion like once in a blue moon he'll whip it out. He's been doing that for the past 15 years or so. He'll whip it out for special occasions.
Like when the demon comes out.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's kind of like actually come to think about it, that's kind of how like the demon is based off of.
Yeah.
Like not just Jushin Thunder Liger, but also with Keiji Moto or aka the Great Muta. They're kind of like the same thing as well. They have like these alter egos,
Which I'm all about. Bray Wyatt and the Fiend.
Yes, another example.
Japan does it right. Man.
Japan does it so right,
They
dude.
do it so right.
They
Their
do.
storytelling is crazy.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for this now. It's going to be January 4th and 5th for the
Correct.
Tokyo Dome. Imagine going, dude.
And then they're gonna have the New
Hot
Year's
bitches.
Dash on January 6th right after,
Oh
which
my
is their
God.
Raw. The Raw after, it's like the equivalent of the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
That's gonna be mage.
Good job, NJPW. I'm looking forward to that.
So that, so
So now
so,
let's talk
so let
about
me ask you
Raw.
guys this
yeah,
real quickly. One last
highs
question:
highs and lows.
Do you think WWE can like? Do you trust WWE to do something like that?
No,
No.
Not at all.
only because there's so much programming, regardless of a pay-per-view or special event, that one more thing or two more things would be just too much.
Well, think about it this way: like, what big matches can you have for 2 nights?
Right.
Because most of the WrestleMania card is filler, except for like the main event.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I could see them doing like a Raw championship match and SmackDown championship winner both winners face each other the next day. They can do something like that, but that'd be a blatant ripoff.
Yeah, super ripoff.
Yeah.
I don't think they can get away with it.
No.
New Japan does it right.
Right.
Both nights are special. Like you're gonna want to go to both nights.
Right.
Night 2 obviously is the night to go.
That's
But
yeah.
same thing with when we talk about like Bola. You know,
Right.
you have like the 3-day weekend kind of deal. You're gonna have a great time at each night, but the last night is gonna be the blow off for the whole
the
weekend.
only thing that scares me too, though,
Yes.
is that I think Okada Ibushi has a chance to be a top 3 match all the time. And the next night, whoever goes in that ring with that winner, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, can we get into
Let's-
this garbage now?
Yes. Let's go back to get into Raw. Unfortunately,
Yeah. So it's so crazy. We went from such a high. Like I was excited about
Yeah,
wrestling
that
to
was
have to like
nuts.
go over what happened on Raw. Really nothing, dude. Like we said, that the women's match was great. Walter and Imperium invaded Raw.
Imperium is a bunch of jobbers in Walter.
I mean,
pretty
it's
much.
Walter with his putty patrol. It's
Right, right.
Yes.
it's,
It's pretty
Lord
jobber.
Zed and the putties.
Walter's a great.
Walter's fucking he tenderized Seth Rollins pretty
Yeah.
good. Although I will say they weren't as stiff as he normally lays them in, and I noticed his hand was like half open, so it made the sound, but it didn't really like have the slap effect.
Right.
So I'm assuming that Seth is like, "Hey, buddy, don't go too hard on me tonight."
did real quickly about that? Did WWE mention that that they're like the UK's best talent? Did they make something along those lines or a statement along those lines?
I don't remember.
Okay. The reason why I asked is because none of those guys are from the UK. Walter's from Germany. Eichner is from Italy, I believe. Wolf is from Germany. And who's the fourth guy? Basically, they're all not from the UK. It just goes to show you WWE's geography sucks.
Well, they just wrestle in the UK, so I guess they technically can get away with it. But I'm sure they'll
That's
spin
such
it.
a cop-out answer.
They'll spin it
though.
into like a first ever something.
Yes.
First ever German, coalition. But then after that, it turned into a tag match with the Street Profits coming out and helping out Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens comes out, who we haven't seen in a while, which it was cool to see him. Definitely cooled down way too much for my liking for Owens. Remember when he was stunning people and like setting the world on fire?
That stunner he did this past week was pretty good. But yeah, he's been pretty relevant. I forgot he was around, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah.
You know who else I forgot is around? I'm
Who?
going to blow your mind right now. The Usos.
Oh shit.
Fuck,
That's
remember
true.
them?
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
Naomi. Like, we haven't seen them
Yeah.
at all since that DUI thing.
Well, okay. I guess it kind of me.
But that was like months ago.
That was for
Jeff Hardy too, but Jeff Hardy's a whole different story.
That's a mess. That's shit show.
But yeah, so we had the thing that bothered me about, I mean, the whole thing with NXT, Raw, SmackDown. NXT UK has nothing to do with what they're doing at Survivor Series. So I
Not
don't
at
know
all.
why they were invading. Well, I guess because they didn't have to fly anyone over. They saved a couple bucks and got
That's
NXT
true.
UK.
And it got Walter to the masses.
Yeah, he's gonna be something, dude, if he ever comes over.
That was brutal.
Well, let's get into this bullshit.
The reason why I honestly did not bother to watch Raw this week.
We heard about this last week.
Yes.
But take it away, Dick.
Well, Lana reveals to everyone that she's pregnant. And
That turned me
she
on.
gives WWE math. She says that she's 9 weeks pregnant, and she started having sex with Lashley 7 weeks pregnant.
This segment, I felt like went on forever.
This whole storyline's been going on forever, and it's the death.
But like Lana talking by herself, she can't do it. I don't know if it's because she didn't believe what she was saying, but I mean, obviously I'm not invested in the storyline, but I was willing to let her talk and see if it can go anywhere. But it did nothing. It did nothing. It made it actually worse.
I'll be honest with you. Anyone who can believe into the storyline is, I mean, I can't see why anyone would want to believe in this. It's just such bad brand. You could be such a great actor and be given this material, and it would come out dog shit.
So yeah, she comes out, said she's pregnant. Rusev comes out, or Rusev was in the ring, and she starts beating him up, and then Lashley comes out and really beats him up, and then she just says, "Oh, I was lying. I can't believe he believed that." So you wasted my entire time just to get to Rusev being laid out, and then watching them make out over him.
Right.
I mean, this is not good. This needs to just stop. Just
to me, if they're gonna push it, they should have just made it come back next week or something.
This is the worst storyline of 2019 by far.
This is the worst storyline in recent history. I can't remember another storyline where I was so like, get this off my TV.
The only thing keeping me interested is that Rusev is a great performer for one, and Lana's titties. But like those two things alone are keeping me glued to.
I'm over Lana. I don't think she's hot. She just annoys me now.
And she got the Deborah McMichael outfit going on there.
Yeah, she's so super Mongol McMichael.
Right. Yeah.
I almost thought you said Mongoloid McMichael.
Mongoloid. She's Mongoloid McMichael. Yes. But yeah, the crowd really shit on this too, which should tell them something like, we got to stop. We got to stop with all this.
I don't know how they abort out of it.
And then even the ratings,
just like her pregnancy, just
Right.
abort,
Yes.
get it out of here.
Get it out of there.
Use it for stem cells.
She's fine. Damn.
What do you think the odds are that Rowan is going to have a rodent inside that cage he was talking to? Like he has a pet rat now.
I don't know.
Rowan, rodent. It writes itself, damn it.
I
God
have
damn,
no
dude.
idea.
I feel like that's where I feel like there's going to be some kind of rodent.
At least
inside of
he's
there.
getting some sort of push, I guess. Push a Jace.
I mean, he was running after the 24/7 title
well.
last week. So, I mean,
And he got a reboot a few months ago when he was on SmackDown. I thought pairing him with Daniel Bryan would help his career, and then now they don't know what the hell they're doing with this guy.
yeah, same with Harper. I mean, both those guys, they came back and like now they're just.
Sorry, I'm Lana obsessed right now.
She's so thirsty, bro.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah,
She is so thirsty.
You think she actually cheats on Rusev?
I think she definitely runs that relationship
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely.
Because yeah, she just wants all that attention, bro, and I'm not going to give it to her. She doesn't
She's-
She doesn't get my attention. After that, Viking Raiders beat up local NXT guys, not local NXT, but NXT UK guys.
Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan, which
I don't know anything about them, so I wasn't really invested in this match.
Apparently that match was good from what I've read.
Yeah, it was like 3 minutes long
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like the last minute was a lot of like offense, but yeah, it was.
We've seen Mark Andrews in PWG.
I don't know if I have.
I'm sure you have with me a few times, but great performer. And the tag team they're a great tag team in NXT UK, but you can't really tell because they were only given 3 minutes to demonstrate. It was basically a squash match for the Viking Raiders,
Experience Raiders of Lost Ark.
whatever the hell you want to call them.
Yeah, and then yeah, that was pretty much Raw. I mean, there was the OC versus Humberto Carrillo, Randy Orton, and Ricochet. Heels versus faces match. Faces wins and the crowd home happy. Whatever. After that, we had. Fuck, man, this show's gonna be a long boy.
It's fine.
How far?
It's,
53?
We're
yeah, it's
53.
fine.
We all
fine.
know SmackDown was shit, so there's not a lot of. We can talk about.
I do want to talk about SmackDown just being,
Yes.
know,
Right.
the first hour of the show, there was one wrestling match, which is insane to have on a wrestling show.
Right.
Back-to-back weeks of Corbin doing a 20-minute segment. I'm not surprised that the ratings are down because if I'm a casual fan and I'm like, oh, I've been seeing a lot of ads for this show. I'm not doing anything. You might as well watch. And then I tune in and I see this garbage of like a guy in a dog suit and like just awkward, weird things going on. I'm going to change the channel. That's not going to.
And why would you want to go back to watching it again?
Like, oh, I used to watch wrestling. I wonder how it's doing now. Now that it's on Fox, I can watch it.
Right.
And then I tune in and I get like this.
The biggest dilemma too is they're battling Friday night in general for most people.
I mean, Friday night. Friday night is the fun.
Yeah.
That's the kickoff of the weekend.
right. So it's
and in that and like if you're a young person, you're not going to really go stay home on a Friday night to watch SmackDown, especially nowadays since you have.
You want to go? You want to go to grab a beer and like some pizza or something? I would, man, but I gotta watch SmackDown. I don't miss a show. Who's that guy?
They don't exist anymore. I mean, for that younger generation, they're not going to stay home and watch SmackDown. I mean, they got DVR, and even then, they're not really going to watch it because they're so turned off by the product. And even in the ratings, it shows for both. I mean, Raw's third hour was the lowest ever. They went under 2 million. You would have thought you would never see that. SmackDown, the lowest rating on Fox as of right now with 2.2 million viewers. It's a cold show for both.
Yeah, and you might say that AEW and NXT is like the main thing, but Raw and SmackDown should be better. These are like their flagship shows. They got paid billions of dollars for these shows, and they literally are giving us dog shit.
I wonder if Fox has say about why the content is the way it is.
You think?
You think, but it's not a network issue. It's a WWE issue.
No, well, I mean that in a bad way. I mean, if Fox is causing some of these choices, so like, is it something Fox related, or is WWE just really mailing it in?
No, because the same problems persist on USA. It's not a network thing. It's a WWE thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been like that when SmackDown was on USA. They're dwindling their audience, and it's showing as the weeks go by. They're cannibalizing their audience, essentially, is what they're doing. Because why would you watch something, and let alone trying to attract new fans, and you see stuff like that? Like, if you're a new fan and you see a 15-minute Baron Corbin segment, why would you want to go back and watch it again? Like, especially if it's that bad, if it's that much dog shit.
King Corbin, get it right.
Oh yeah, King Corbin. Yeah.
No.
What are you gonna do? What you're gonna do is give us a match with Ali and Shorty G beating Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable beating Ziggler and Rude. They're the same size. Why are they picking on Shorty G? I know we talked about this before, but then you put them in a tag team to really show off the fact that they're the same size.
And those big shorts are hilarious.
That's trolling. They're trolling.
They
us at
are
this
trolling.
point, right?
They're trolling not only Chad Gable but also the fans as well.
Vince is like, oh my God, look at them. They hate it. I love it. And Ziggler and Rude really want to be on this Team SmackDown. So
I'll say that this match was definitely the one good thing about SmackDown.
Yeah,
was both Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable. They put on a great performance.
They can go, man.
Chad Gable's so fucking good and powerful for a little minute.
Yes.
Man.
He's proud. Some would say he's proud and powerful.
Right. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I got an A on that paper. There you go.
Yeah. You had another NXT invasion. I like that the locker room empties out with just the worst people you want to have by your side fighting.
I'm like, why?
The Lucha House Party is scaring off Undisputed Era. What world does that make sense
That
in?
just goes to tell you like what how NXT is viewed compared to Raw and SmackDown.
Well, I think that's another way for Vince to justify spending money on all these jabrones. But I also think that beatdown Undisputed Era put on was pretty sick.
No, they definitely
sick.
they beat up the tag champs and the former tag champs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I thought this was a great little moment in SmackDown. Didn't sway my up and down for it, but I thought it was a good thing. I fast forwarded through the Heavy Machinery match, and then
Let's get into the women.
Yeah, we had a really cool women's segment. It was supposed to just be Nikki Cross and Bayley, but we had an interruption from Dakota Kai, Rhea Ripley, Mia Yim, and
Tegan Nox.
Tegan Nox. They interrupted the match, and then that led to a 4-on-4 match,
Which does not make sense at all.
because they're fighting each other in War Games the night before.
Exactly. So why are they helping out Shayna Baszler jumping on Bayley? It makes no sense at all. To me, right there, kills any heat for the women's War Game match whatsoever.
I was hoping that Dakota Kai was going to get, because they kicked her out of the team essentially. I thought that
literally.
Yeah, they literally kicked her out of the team. I thought this was going to be a great way to maybe give her some kind of character change or, tweak it a little bit, give her a little bit of an edge. But instead, she's teaming up with the person that kicked her out of the team. Doesn't make any sense, guys. You got to do better at this. And, once we're done with Survivor Series, we're going to have to worry about the next pay-per-view where they're going to the brand split, I was hopeful. I like a fool, like a goddamn idiot. I was hopeful that they were going to stick to this, and dude, they're breaking all the rules.
Well, you think about it like this: when they did the brand split again, Survivor Series is around the corner. You knew that was going to happen because how WWE structured their pay-per-views and their calendar. They did it that way. The draft thing, the second draft was, you could say is a byproduct of Fox wanting to keep them separate but equal rosters. But there's no way they can do that because right around the corner with Survivor Series, and with them, they want to have everyone together. But what I was not a big fan of is that they included NXT, and they're making NXT really the RC Cola of the three brands.
Yeah, and you would think they'd get a big ratings bump too. People see all these NXT; they're promoted heavily on Raw and SmackDown. That's what 6 million homes combined, 6 million viewers combined, and they dropped even worse on Wednesday nights to AEW. In fact, excuse me. So yeah, what's going to happen. They're getting all these little victories, and they're going to just get
the blow-off takeover.
Invasion 2.0.
Right.
And Vince is going to bury him.
And I want to see how it looks, though. If they make it interesting, there's plenty of ways to do that.
I think Shayna has the best odds of winning a match.
Right.
By pinning Bayley,
Shayna
obviously.
and Roddy.
Bayley's going to be in that match to take
Roddy.
that pin.
Roddy has
Roddy's going to take that pin, too.
yeah, Roddy's definitely taking
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think Shinsuke wins, too. But we'll see.
Daniel Bryan is not joining Shinsuke, Sammy, and Cesaro. That would have been mage. That would have been so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, but
well, why would you after they ditched him to get attacked by the Fiend?
We said that on this very show, and I'm glad they addressed it because the second Daniel Bryan got fucking attacked, Sami Zayn bolted out of the room. And I love that he's like, oh, man, I thought you were right behind me. I thought we were both running away. Really nice touch on Sammy's part. I want to buy that Sami Zayn shirt. Did you see Nakamura's shirt?
Which one?
It's a shirt for Sammy for Syria, his foundation. They're selling pro wrestling tees.
I'm gonna see.
It's a poster of a dream match, El Generico versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's sick.
I really want to buy
nice.
that shirt.
Where do you buy it at?
Pro wrestling tees.
Okay, there you go.
Not a sponsor. But Daniel Bryan, instead of joining, he actually gets a title match for the Universal title. So we're going to get Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend at Survivor Series. He's going to die. He's going to die in this match.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match at least.
I hope so. I hope he brings out the best in Bray Wyatt.
Did you see what Seth Rollins did? There's not they made the Fiend too strong. I feel like they made him too strong.
Well, I think at this point he'll be so strong for
maybe the yes
for
lock,
who though?
Maybe the yes lock he just won't tap out.
Demon for a while. Demon Finn until he decides to come back.
Finn Balor's in NXT. I don't think he's going to come back to the main
you don't
roster.
Think so ever?
No, he's going to be there.
He's going to be there for a
while.
while.
Who knows? I can't think of a lot. Well, Daniel Bryan.
And then you also got to keep in mind. I'm going to cut you off, but Finn Balor's a heel right now. Right. So how are you going to turn him babyface, especially if he just recently turned heel?
You bring him over and you have him join the OC.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
Oh, and then it becomes cool guy.
Yeah,
like kind of like neutral, right?
Like rock and roller era.
I would love that.
You could do that, but
we'll see.
So there's options, but I mean, you can't keep giving us this Baron Corbin stuff on the show.
Well,
right?
you can definitely but I don't know if it's gonna be successful. That's a whole different argument.
Where do you go with Daniel Bryan though? After this,
to tell you the truth, he's been an afterthought.
He really has.
He's been an afterthought.
Top 5 wrestler in the game still.
For him fighting so hard to come back and just come back to this. I mean, he was the world champion for a while. He had a good run as a Planet's champion. The new Daniel Bryan I thought was great. However, now he's just kind of floundering around.
He's lost in the shuffle.
We'll see. We'll see. I wonder what they do with this. I mean, where it branches out of.
The Miz segment was a main event on SmackDown, so I mean, he's still a main eventer. Or last segmenter.
Yes.
Not a main eventer, but a main eventer. Shout out to that flashback. We never made that shirt. I wish we would have made it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much SmackDown.
So we got the bad out of the way. Can we get into the good?
Let's get into the good. We talked about Full Gear already. This was a big show for AEW.
I didn't watch any of it. How was it?
Come on, bro. It was awesome. You need to watch this because
I watched
the thing with AEW, I don't ever lose interest. I'm not on my phone like I am with WWE.
Right.
I'm watching the show. I'm invested. I'm engaged. They keep me entertained. They do a great job at telling me stories. And I like all the guys. You might think these guys are small potatoes, but they're actually really talented. And, you know, they don't have that WWE shine that you like on some of these guys.
I like the polish, man.
The polish.
The finished product.
Sometimes the polish isn't always good, though.
I like.
Of course not. But
I
I'm
like the
saying-
grittiness. I like that there's no scripted promos. I like that everyone is having a good time. I can feel the positive energy from that locker room. Anybody, good guys, bad guys, they're all passionate about what they're doing here. Where, you know, they're not having to chase around a 24/7 title and try to roll up, I don't know, Jordan Miles.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's really good shit. This is such good shit.
What were some of the highlights of this week's AEW?
Well, for starters,
Dynamite.
For starters, you can go with Chris Jericho in the ring with MJF.
Oh, yeah, we
MJF
looked
was
at
trying
that.
to explain with what happened as far as why he turned on Cody.
A great promo.
And
Great
I thought that
segment.
was a great promo. You could say there's definitely shades of the old Jericho promo back in the early 2000s where him and Christian would look like they were fighting against each other, only to reveal that they were it was a setup for whoever they were feuding with. I thought it was a great segment. MJF is, to me, is probably the best talker right now in the business. And the guy is only 23, 24 years old.
Yeah,
so he's going to
baby.
get better and better as time goes. Great segment. The line to me was like, you were at 25 or 24, and your parents probably got really horny when they watched me and Juventud Guerrera on WCW Saturday night. I thought that was a great line.
And then for him to come back and say, "Who's Juventud Guerrera?"
Who the hell's Juventud Guerrera?
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
that was dope.
Yeah.
Moxley came out, kicked off the show with a match. He basically a squash match on Michael Nakazawa, and he cut a promo right after the match saying that he's the most hardcore, he's the most crazy, and he's here to fuck shit up. And he challenges anybody in the locker room. This was kind of one of my highlights. After that, later in the night, Darby Allin fought.
And that was shorter than the Baron Corbin promo, by the way.
Oh, exactly. Just get your shit out. He didn't bring out a fucking guy in a dog suit.
I wonder why Baron Corbin gets that much time. That's
Vince
weird.
loves him.
Yeah, he
Vince
does.
loves him.
He
dude.
does. There's a reason.
Vince likes him.
And then you have the three-way match with Darby Allin later in the night with Peter Avalon and Shawn Spears. Darby Allin's a fucking star. Wins the match, and he cuts up. He just says, "Hey Moxley, I accept."
He accepts his challenge.
So we're gonna get two of the craziest motherfuckers that aren't named Joey Janela.
Is it for the match? Is it for Dynamite, or is it for the next pay?
Next week is
Oh,
gonna be
shit.
Yes.
Darby Allin versus Moxley.
I do like the instant payoff. That's cool.
So yeah, that's really dope. Another great fucking return. We have the return of the long-awaited return of Luchasaurus coming back. The Dark Order fighting the Jurassic Express. After the match, the Dark Order won the match. After the match, they were gonna try to give Marco Stunt a mask to be one of the Gimps. That would have been fucking awesome to watch Evil Uno try to sit on Marco Stunt.
I would have squashed him. Literally.
Luchasaurus comes out for the save. The tail whip kick is fucking awesome. It's basically just like a roundhouse kick. And we got the Luchasaurus back, which is huge. I don't think we've seen him on Dynamite.
This is his debut on Dynamite.
Yeah, because he's been hurt. So I mean, Luchasaurus is gonna be a fucking star. He's a big guy that they need.
Yes.
They don't really have any big guys, so this was nice to see.
And I just love their act. I mean, with now that they're all back together, him and Jungle Boy, I think they're gonna be they're a great tag team. They're a great act, and they were definitely missing Luchasaurus during that time.
Yeah, because the tag team of Stunt and Jungle Boy didn't really excite me too much. Stunt's awesome, but that's just
He did what he could, though.
Two really small guys, but now you have the big guy, little guy dynamic, and it's fucking great. Marco can go back to just being the manager, I guess. Pac versus Page again. The rematch.
they ran it back.
They ran it
Yes.
back.
What the fuck?
Pac beat him 2 nights in a row, so this has got to be it. He hit him with the black arrow and the brutalizer, made him fucking pass out. And I mean, I feel Pac's fucking record is getting better while Page is getting worse.
I know I feel like he's been on the shit end of a lot of feuds.
Page?
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it because
He's still a young
It's-
man.
it's
too,
not
right?
just
young.
him, but
He's gonna be able to come back.
It's an elite. It's also the elite as well. I think they're doing it right now because they want to try to build these guys up. I understand the logic behind it. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, though. Like
the Elite are over. Like they can take these losses.
They're over regardless. So their logic is that, you know what, we're gonna take the losses because we want to get these guys over. We need to get Pac over. We need to get Moxley over. We need to get the previously named LAX. We need to get all these guys over because if it's just us, then there's going to be some sort of backlash with the fans saying,
Absolutely.
"Well, all you guys do is care about yourselves, and you're getting yourselves over." And to some fans, they're criticized because they're not looked as strong. But if you look at it through the big picture in the long run, they're trying to get everyone over so that way everyone wins in the end.
Yeah.
What main event? Was that the main event?
No, the main event was actually was it the Young Bucks? Oh no, the main event was Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus SCU for the tag team championship.
And I thought that was a great match.
Who won?
SCU won the match.
course.
Jericho actually ate the pin.
What?
This is his
Clean
first.
too?
Yes.
Roll up, yes.
Oh shit!
It was like a fluky roll up pin, but this match was awesome. Sammy Guevara is fucking
He's a star.
He's
a baby.
The Spanish sex god.
Spanish God.
He's awesome. And like I said, they look like they're having a great time out there.
And on top of that, this builds up to a Chris Jericho versus Scorpio Sky match. Since Scorpio Sky pinned Jericho, you can make the argument that he's entitled to a title match.
I thought the same thing. And also, if you remember when Jericho won the title, he called out Scorpio Sky in the back. He said, "Scorpio Sky, you see this? You'll never get this. You'll never get close to this." And he just pinned the world champion
Little clues
for the first time. And then he like a baby, he went out and grabbed a chair and started smashing things. He was like crying. You could tell he was like ready to cry.
Jericho's so good.
Jericho is so good, dude.
To me, he is obviously he's a face because he's a champ, but I think he's doing a good job of getting himself out there, establishing him as the face of AEW. Right?
Let me ask you guys this: do you think, because there's some fans out there that think that there's too much Jericho going on in AEW, do you think that's the case? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's awesome. Why would you want less Jericho?
Right. I think it's the best.
He's the
thing
champ.
to do.
He's le champion.
Right. Like, remember how I told you, I don't think a lot of them are polished. It doesn't have that shine. Jericho is shined. He's fully polished, ready to go.
Yeah, and that's why he's there.
Right. And I think, it's either him or Omega that needs to lead the company. Because, if Cody's the champ, then to me, like, WWE has damaged his presence forever. Because Stardust, all that bullshit. These are the guys who need to lead the company right now.
Well, Jericho's a perfect guy right now to have the belt on to begin with, and
he's fucking Jericho, man.
He's Chris Jericho, and he knows how to get people over.
Yeah, and himself over because he's been over for.
He knows how to
years.
reinvent himself.
But yeah, that was pretty much. Oh, LAX or Proud and Powerful.
Pride and Prejudice.
Don't like that name.
Yeah.
Fucked up the Young Bucks pretty bad, so that's gonna keep going. I think it's gonna be a matter of time before we get the Elite versus the Inner Circle.
Real quick, during their backstage feud, I just thought it was pretty funny that they were brawling back and forth. I think it was it Matt that had super kicked Ortiz to the door, and then when the door opened up, you just see Orange Cassidy just chilling in the bathroom,
sitting there with like half a thumb.
Yeah,
Castillo's favorite wrestler.
Literally just standing in the bathroom, just standing there looking at the wall. And then I like that there was comedy in the middle of a brawl.
Right.
Yes.
It's so good wrestling.
He's definitely the comedy relief because I think that fucker is hilarious, dude.
Yeah, the half thumb, his brutal strikes, dude. Have you seen that guy kick the shit out of people's shins?
Dude, it was
Fucking yeah.
Chris D'Elia was talking about all everywhere.
Chris D'Elia?
Yeah.
Holy
That's his
shit.
favorite
I
wrestler
can
right
see
now.
why.
He says he's gonna. He doesn't know who he is, but now he's gonna follow him from now on.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because
Fighter the Kid talked about him too.
yeah, Fighting the Kid. I saw that.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Theo Von's a big wrestling fan too.
Right,
So like
yes.
it's just gonna go out further. I can't wait till Tom Segura starts covering AEW, dude.
It's not if, but when.
Leo Rush versus Angel Garza on NXT for the title was really fun.
Yeah, you forget how good Leo Rush is. as a
Great match
performer.
between those guys. And Angel Garza is a great wrestler. To me, like,
Basic ass name, but
Yeah.
great wrestler.
Like,
did you know him and Humberto Carrillo are related?
I did not know that.
I could have guessed it.
They are.
Yeah.
Honestly, with Mexicans, we're all related.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
That's
someone.
true.
We
That's
all,
true.
Right.
We're someone's cousin.
But
Right.
you look at
Be careful who you fuck. That's what I'm getting.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Very,
Might-
very, very
might
true.
Be fucking your sister. Who knows?
Very true.
Yeah.
But you look at those two, and Angel Garza has a lot of the charisma that Humberto Carrillo is lacking.
Angel Garza, yeah. I love the pull-away pants. It's so stupid,
it's
but I
great.
love it.
Something to get him over.
Yeah, I feel like Angel Garza has that charisma. You're exactly right, Dick. Humberto Carrillo has zero charisma.
Yeah, I think he'll have to be a pretty boy for a while to
Yeah,
get by.
he's going to be that blue chipper.
Yeah.
But that was a great way to kick off NXT. Speaking of kicking off, Aaliyah got a nose kicked off.
Oh my god!
But it didn't look that bad.
I didn't. We were talking about it. I was like, dude, that looks just like a normal bump or like a normal hit you would take.
She had her hands up and everything,
Yep.
but Chia Lee really fucking.
It was
rocked
just
her,
the
dude.
velocity of the kick where, like, her feet had hit her hands, and her hands must have busted her nose wide open, because it looked pretty bad, and then they had to stop the match right away.
Yeah.
But of course, it had to be Aaliyah.
Probably the worst. Her and Vanessa Bourne are like the two worst wrestlers down there, I think. They really need to.
And she's been there for a while.
Yeah. Speaking of people that have been there for a while, Matt Riddle is going to be taking the place of the injured Johnny Gargano to face Finn Balor. This is a dream match, I'd say.
I wonder how
I
it's
love
gonna
both these
look.
guys.
I wonder how it's gonna look.
I think this would be a great match as well. But
Finn's going over
going
it,
back
really,
to Johnny Gargano, yeah, he's going to be out for a while. Dude,
They
talk-
say-
Did we talk about that already?
no, we didn't.
Oh,
and
shit.
and I'm glad we didn't, because I wanted that was a perfect segue into that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Johnny Gargano's gonna be out for a while. We don't know how long it's gonna be, but it's such bad timing for him, because
God.
I was really excited for that.
I was really excited for that. For
Balor
that as
Gargano
well.
match.
Now
Yeah.
it's just like Riddle's great, but
It's not the same.
It's
It's like drinking a Diet Coke when I want the Coca-Cola.
right. Give me the Mexican Coke.
I want that Mexican Coke. This is not the same.
Nope.
It's just
Good.
It's
I'll
just,
drink it.
It's just
Right.
bad
But I'm not
timing.
gonna be happy.
Some could say that it went back to when Finn Balor delivered the 1916 on to Gargano,
You mean
where
try to kill him? Yeah.
it looked pretty bad. It looked like it was either
he spiked him pretty good.
he spiked him pretty good,
Spiked him pretty good there, Rick.
and it was either A, you thought that Finn Balor was probably the greatest worker ever, and that he really made it seem like he really hurted him, or B, he really did hurt him. Like, you couldn't really tell.
He went full New Japan and just said,
He
"Fuck
did.
it."
And that had no give. That floor had no give.
No.
I think maybe he didn't account for the angle.
Right.
Maybe
He
I don't
took it
know.
like boom.
Because it definitely looked bad. So sign me up for that. It is Diet Coke, but I'll drink it. I'll be fine with it. Keith Lee and Roderick Strong had a fucking awesome match too.
Keith Lee's been on fire the last couple
He's
weeks.
been
Yes.
killing it, dude. He's a monster, dude.
Legit big guy.
It's gonna suck when he gets called up to the main roster and Vince is gonna
Tag team with Apollo Crews.
he's good. Yeah, actually I'd be all about that. It'd be like Luchasaurus and
Yep.
Little Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee has so much more charisma than Apollo Crews.
Oh well, duh.
He's gonna have to compensate for
This
Apollo.
bottle of Coke has more charisma than fucking Apollo Crews.
Look how bubbly it is. I love
look
it,
at
dude.
that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Personality.
Look at all that
lot more bubbly than Apollo Crews.
Oh man.
And that's the thing with NXT. NXT, they're talented. They're loaded. They have talented big guys in there.
Dijakovic.
Dijakovic, another example.
Speaking of Dijakovic, it looks like he's going to be joining. This is why I'm confused, because there's so many with the invasion of Raw and SmackDown and War Games going on. It's a lot of team-based things.
Yes.
And I don't know what people are fighting. I have no idea what's going on with the women right now.
Well, this is what we know for the women's War Game match. It's going to be Shayna Baszler.
Ripley? Is Ripley on the team?
Ripley's the captain.
She's
yeah.
the captain of the other team. So it's
right.
what's
Exactly.
what's the black chicks, Bianca Belair,
yeah.
Belair, Rhea Ripley, and the NXT
Tegan
UK
Knox.
the UK Women's Champion. She has a similar name to
Kaylee Ray.
yes, Kaylee Ray, and the fourth one is
Io Shirai.
Io Shirai. So that's one team, and then the other team is going to be Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, and Mia Yim.
So that's that. But then there's the...
And keep in mind, they haven't announced who the women's NXT team is
That's the
for
only 3 matches they got booked.
Yeah, that's all they got right now.
so far.
So that means there's going to be some shenanigans going on for sure.
Well, there's still one person of Team Ciampa that needs to get announced too.
Okay.
So they're still building it, which I'm down for.
Yes.
Undisputed Era versus Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Donovan Dijakovic, and someone else. That's gonna be fucking crazy. I think.
Who do you think the fourth person's going to be?
That's a good guess.
Ooh.
Well, we will do that in prediction show. Oh, well, they might reveal it by next week.
They might reveal it next week because that's going to be the go home show to Takeover.
Well, it can't be Riddler and it can't be Balor.
Yeah, it can't be Gargano.
It can't be Gargano.
Could be Velveteen Dream.
Ooh, there it is.
there it
That's
is.
it.
Because
Do it.
if you think about it, it makes sense because a couple weeks ago, Velveteen Dream got laid out.
Where is he? I feel
think
like he just comes and goes.
Right.
I think he's resting him in the meantime because he was injured.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he's ready to come back, and that's what they did is they used that angle to give him some time off.
Well,
Velveteen.
So I could see that happen.
that'd be a dope ass match.
DRE.
And it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's because he's had problems with what's his name, old Roddy over there.
Yep.
Yes.
with these little pee-pee.
But going back to what I was saying earlier, though, you look at those 2 War Games matches, and if you just watch the NXT product, you would think on paper this is going to be a great War Games match.
There's only 3 matches. Yeah.
But the problem is, though, is that if you're watching SmackDown and or Raw, you see this whole invasion angle happening, and you see like a mixture of the teams. You know,
It really waters down. Remember when William Regal was like, 2 words, War Games, and the crowd fucking erupted?
yes,
I feel like with this invasion, it really watered down the impact of having a women's War Games match.
I 100%
First
agree.
ever.
100% agree.
And it sucks that WWE is like stealing a lot of the thunder from the show to make their own thing. It should have just, I don't know. They
And
did
then-
what they had to do, but it to the detriment of NXT.
And then you look at, and then also for the men as well, because we don't know who the men representatives are going to be for the Survivor Series match as well. And if I had to guess, it's probably going to be a combination of those 5 guys that are going to be in the men's War Game match,
It's obviously undisputed era,
which makes
guys.
no sense at all.
And yeah, they're having a War Games match because they hate each other.
Right.
They
And
should not be teaming up the next night to fucking,
I agree.
They should have made
for brand supremacy. What does that even mean?
Right. They should have made winner of each match that gets to go to Survivor.
That would have been
Right.
great.
I'd be fine with that.
That would have been awesome.
That would
but
make more sense.
But instead, you're gonna get a mixture of Rhea Ripley and Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's kind of a cacophony of.
Real quick though, I do want to talk about Mia Yim.
Yum.
She did have a ladder match with Io Shirai. Great ladder match, by the way.
Yeah, it went on for a while too. I feel like.
It did go on for a little too long, but during that match, Mia did take a pretty brutal bump from Io when Io drop kicked the ladder,
Ooh, yeah.
and it busted her nose.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fucking gnarly.
You could see it was still fucked up on SmackDown when she was there too.
Yes, and she did double duty. She went on SmackDown and she did wrestle as well.
Yeah. Did you see all that tape she had on her back too? She took a nasty powerbomb onto a
Oh
ladder
yeah,
too.
because the ending was at when because Io did win the match for her team, so they're gonna get the
Give it
1-man
an 8,
advantage
wow.
for War Games, and it was
the ladder that was set up, it was on the apron and the barricade, right? And then
Yes.
she powerbombed her out of the ring onto the ladder.
no Kaylee Ray came down and threw her from the ladder, and she landed
that's
on
what-
the
that's what it
on the
was. Yeah,
ladder.
yeah.
That was nasty.
Near the top of the ladder inside the ring, all the way to the outside to that ladder.
That's a big
yeah.
bump for anybody.
For anybody.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Let alone me.
I would have never. I mean, the fact that they did it with the ladder is pretty fucking crazy.
Because she's from Fontana, fool.
Hey, fool.
They don't fuck around, fool.
No, bro. Nothing to do out there besides take bumps.
She's half
Of broken
Korean.
windows.
yeah,
I know,
Broken
right?
Windows for sure.
She's half black, half Korean. And she talks like a chola.
Yeah.
Welcome to Southern California.
Broken windows, fool.
Broken windows, homie.
A wild Bailey appears.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I
though.
did like that,
That's
too.
dope. Finally, she gets some comeuppance.
Because she is the afterthought in this whole thing.
She is.
Yes,
big
she
time.
is.
So it's good that they're having her go out there and like really like, hey, I'm here too, guys. So good for her. Good for Bailey. Really like that.
Delicious ass.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In regular street clothes,
Dude,
Yes.
street clothes. dude.
What?
That's amazing. That's when you know you passed the test.
Ah, fuck, we did it, guys.
We did it.
We did all the shows.
So much fucking wrestling.
Oh my god.
so much
dude.
wrestling, so much news.
Some wrestling has to go for Disney Plus. Just letting you guys know. So
Yeah, watch The Mandalorian. If you're a Star Wars fan, even if you're not, watch The Mandalorian. I need to watch episode 2. I need to watch The Irishman.
I
that
need to
just
get
came
on.
out.
I need to get on that Disney Plus, dude.
It's
Dude,
free
get
for
on it.
7 days. Try it out.
I will.
They don't
and
let you do sharing things either because I tried.
They don't.
Well, like
Really?
I tried doing it on one device and then I went to a different room to try like my computer and it logs you out.
Oh shit!
Oh, crazy.
Fucking smart. They're
know.
Well, yeah.
these are the small steps they're gonna start taking before like Netflix is gonna stop putting binge shows right
Right.
away and only one computer at a time
Yep.
kind of deal. Because I know on my account alone I have 4 sub accounts and they're all used.
Yep, there you go.
But yeah, The Irishman. I was gonna say The Irishman. I need to watch. It's the new Scorsese movie with De Niro and Pesci.
When did that come out?
It just came out last night.
Came out
On Netflix?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Netflix.
That's
Yeah.
just 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Yeah, it's. My cousin said 3 hours. It's two and a half hours.
What?
Sign me up, dude.
Damn, that's a long time. I'm down to watch it though.
I watch 3 hours of Raw every week. I can sit through that.
I
No
think
problem.
we could sit through anything really. But just real quickly. So Disney Plus did launch a couple days ago. They already have 10 million subscribers.
How many does the WWE Network have?
They've been around for 5+ years, and they're barely at 1.5 million.
Gay boys.
And yet, Stephanie. The reason why I bring this up is because Stephanie McMahon said in a press conference that she hopes that one day WWE would be as big as Disney.
Yeah, good luck with that.
They're not even
You know who's
close.
gonna be bigger than
You're about
Disney?
10% of the way
Nobody.
there.
Right.
Wait, what'd you
Right.
say?
Who's gonna be better than Disney? Or you know who's gonna be bigger than Disney? There's like no entity that could be that
No.
big. None.
No one.
Wait, is there something that's bigger than Disney?
Disney owns Fox. That was probably their biggest rival.
Well, they also have ABC.
Universal
They have
Studios
ABC as well.
And the Marvel universe.
and ESPN.
So no, fuck you. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
Disney owns everything.
Maybe
dude.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm sure they'll own that eventually.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're gonna make a. Yeah,
I'm sure once Christianity's going down in flames, Disney will buy it.
yeah. We're like, you know what? We can make some money off of this. We'll repackage it, make it a multiverse with God and. Dude, they should do the.
Dude, I
All
would
right.
watch it.
Oh,
I would fucking
God.
watch it.
All right,
Literally.
they should buy TBN, the Christian channel,
Right.
and then make a multiverse with the Bible.
I'm in.
Fucking sign me up, dude.
Sign me Old Testament included.
I want to see that Old Testament shit.
Disney TBN.
I want to see.
play all the hits.
I want to see Jonah and the whale. You know what I mean?
Abraham.
I want to see
fuck.
Meshach and Abednego
All
in the
those
fire. I want to see that shit.
Noah and his fucking
Shadrach,
ark.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yeah, I don't want to see.
We guest star Shaq.
I don't want this. Yeah, with guest star Shaq and Mershak. I want to see Noah's Ark, and I don't want this Evan Almighty bullshit.
No, that's
I
some
want.
real
I
shit.
want to see the Ark, baby.
Sodom
I
and
want to know
Gomorrah.
where the gold at.
Yep. All that
Sodom and
shit.
Gomorrah, dude.
That's the Netflix episode or like the late night shit.
I want to see all that blood. You know, I want to see it all. So sign me up, Disney.
do it.
Do it. I mean, we're
Come on.
giving you ideas, dude. A Bible multiverse. Fucking sign me up, dude.
Marvel Disney Bible multiverse. Oh shit.
Yeah, have Captain
The
America
ultimate
fight against
crossover.
Jesus, dude. Civil War.
Jesus
Part
got
two.
brainwashed by the Red Skull. Holy shit.
He's
dude.
he's been in Hydra the whole time.
Holy shit.
Hail
dude.
Hydra. All right. Well,
That was a marathon.
that was fun. That was the most fun of the podcast, I feel like.
In a while, yeah.
Actually, no. I mean, I like talking about wrestling, but when it's good. The AEW segment was fun. I don't know about you, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to cut that last part out. Thank you guys so much for listening, downloading, subscribing, telling your friends, telling your neighbors, telling your friends' neighbors. We're available on all platforms. I don't know what's up with Spotify. I'm going to take a look at that, but it's not updating. So definitely go somewhere else. Podcast Addict is what I use. They have podcasts from everywhere. And yeah. Make sure you go to our sponsors' website. Make sure you go to our website. Make sure you tell your friends. We are the new world order of professional podcasting, and we will see you next week.